Today on Morning Meditations, I'm going to do one last good pastor's thought from Ezekiel 34.
This is Morning Meditations with me, Pastor Ryan Hayden of Bible Baptist Church. To hear more or find out more about our church, visit BibleBaptistMattoon.org.
In Ezekiel 34, God is addressing the spiritual leaders or the shepherds of Israel, and he's chastising them for not doing what they should. Now, I've been taking these verses and using them to teach what good pastors do. And so far, I've come up with four things. First, a good pastor feeds the sheep, or he teaches them the Word of God. Second, a good pastor serves the sheep. He puts their needs before his own. Third, a good pastor helps the hurting. He looks to strengthen and heal individual members of his flock. The last one I did was a good pastor chases the runaways. He goes after those who have left Christ and he tries to get them to come back. Now, let me read verse 3 one last time and give you a fifth thing we can learn about good pastors. The verse says, "The diseased have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them." Now notice that last phrase, with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them. The fifth and the final lesson I have about good pastors from this passage is that good pastors lead gently. They lead gently. In other words, they don't lead by brute force. They lead with a soft hand. Now, pastors have multiple titles in the New Testament. They're called pastors only once, but they're also called bishops and elders. Every one of those titles speaks in some way to the pastor's responsibility to lead. Pastors are literally ordained to serve as leaders of the church. But several times in the Bible, the scriptures make a point to tell pastors that they are to be leaders, not bullies. Peter said in 1 Peter 5 that pastors are to be taking the oversight of the church, not by constraint, but willingly. And then in the next verse, he said, neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. Paul said to the young pastor Timothy in 2 Timothy 2:24 and 25, "And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves." So we see that pastors have a responsibility to lead, but we have all kinds of commands that tell us how we should lead, and how we should lead gently and patiently and by example, and that we shouldn't lead with force, cruelty, or constraint. So look, if your pastor is a bully or a man that likes to throw his weight or his title around, it's not a good sign. A good pastor feeds the sheep, a good pastor serves the sheep, a good pastor helps the hurting, a good pastor chases the runaways, and a good pastor leads gently.